It's that time again. Welcome to another midweek message. What have we got? 13 degrees centigrade, 56 Fahrenheit. Nice day out there, blue sky, lovely blue sky, a bit of a wind from the west. 82% humidity, 10-18 millibars on the barometer. No rain expected today, which is good. Going to be a nice day. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, by the way, and it is the 16th, which is Tuesday, I think. I'm not going to go on about Butlins. You've had enough of that. We've all had enough of that. But I will tell you briefly. The ladies on the last night, Sunday, which was their last night, they went to the venue. They saw some bands and whatever. The last band was Paper Lace. Do you remember Paper Lace? Billy, don't be a hero. Do you remember that? Don't be a fool with your life. Anyway, none of them liked that. So they thought, we'll go back to the hotel. Yes, they got hotels at Butlins, and they're nice hotels. They went back there Sunday evening. What did they do? You won't believe this. I didn't believe it. But it's true. They listened to a Rants podcast, the Sunday podcast. And apparently they all quite enjoyed it. They thought it was funny. Are the podcast episodes funny? Apparently they thought it was hilarious. They're laughing their heads off. And they were saying that I lurch from one topic to another, then back to that topic again. They're not meant to be funny. Do you find them funny? Rants@protonmail.com. Do you remember I talked about people giving up their friends? Quite a few comments about that. Quite a few of you have actually given up friends before I mentioned it because it's been nothing but hassle, apparently. Several people have said that they just got fed up with it in the end. There was competition, rivalry, everything going on between so-called friends, and it just spoilt everything. It spoilt relationships. So you've just cut out the whole lot, just gone your own way. I agree with Eileen. Hello, Eileen. Thanks for your email. She says that groups of people, there are going to be differences, aren't there? You get a group of people, say 6, 8, 10 people, they're going to have different views, political views, all sorts of fashion views, music. They're all going to be different. And that can lead to, well, perhaps not arguments, but heated discussions. People fall out. You end up divisive and all this business. I do agree, Eileen. I know what you mean, especially if there's a group of you. Some of them might start talking about one person. Oh, she's done this, she's done that. Or do you know what he did? I don't know. It doesn't work. I'm no good in big groups, not groups of so-called friends anyway. I'm okay with acquaintances. For example, a get-together for someone's birthday. I can wander around, talk to different people or not. But it's interesting just to see how many people have given up their friends. Nothing to do with what I said. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't me. But they've just given up friends over the years. This has happened, that has happened, and they've discovered that they're better off on their own, not without any acquaintances at all. Perhaps you've got one friend, one best friend from school, as one or two of you have said. But these groups of friends, there was one, who was it? Becky. Hello, Becky. She says that she was in this book club thing. They all got together, they all like reading, so they formed a book club. And she went along, and a couple of times, oh, you're not reading that book? Oh, that's dreadful. Why are you reading that book? And she said the whole thing became sort of an argument. It was argumentative. And she didn't like to say which book she was reading in the end, in case the others moaned at her. So she left the book club, which also meant that she'd left her friends because they all stuck together. What's wrong with her? She's gone off on one. That was the end of that. You're better off out of it, I think, anyway, Becky. As I've said before, I didn't have any friends at school, really. I knew one or two people that, well, they were good acquaintances. I suppose they weren't friends, really. I used to watch groups of friends. There were always fallouts, or they're not speaking to him and he's not speaking to them. They never seemed to all get on as friends. There was always a problem somewhere with one of them or two of them. He's not speaking to him and he doesn't like, oh, I don't know, I can't be bothered with it all. Talking of friends and school, years ago I bumped into a chap that was in my class at school. He wasn't a friend of mine, I just knew him from my class at school. And he said, oh, Ray, isn't it? Ray, oh, how are you doing? And I said, yeah, hello, I forget his name. John, I think, was it? Oh, I can't remember his name, it's irrelevant. I said, yeah, I'm fine. And he said, what car do you drive? I looked at him, what? Car? What do you mean? He said, well, what car do you drive? I just bought a new Jag. And I thought, here we go. This is typical, isn't it? Not what are you doing? How are you getting on? You know, are you married? Have you got kids and all that? I just bought a new Jag. Oh, for goodness sake. So I said, oh, that's a shame. And he said, what do you mean? I said, I've had a couple of Jags. Don't like them. Don't like them at all. I just don't get on with them. Oh, he said, oh, what have you got then? So I thought, I'm just going to take this further and have a laugh. I said, the Jags are okay, but I prefer the Bentley version. And his face, what, you got a, have you? You got a Bentley? Oh yeah, I said, yeah, I bought the Bentley. Had a couple of Jags, couldn't get on with them. Ended up with the Bentley. Just so much better in my view. Anyway, he looked at his watch. Yeah, nice to see you again, Ray. Must go. And off he went. That was the end of that. I deliberately said Bentley to see what he said. It's Daimler, isn't it? But I said Bentley. He hadn't got a clue. I don't think he even had a new Jag, but there we are. He just wanted to show off. It's Daimler, isn't it, that do a version of the Jaguar, not Bentley. But that got rid of him. But isn't that typical, though? This is why I don't have friends. Barbara, nice to hear from you. You don't drink. Now, we were talking about this the other day. I don't drink lunchtimes and at barbecues in the afternoon. I drive there and let Tricia have a couple of glasses of wine. I only like beer in the evening. Barbara says in her email she never drinks. Doesn't like drinking, that's the end of that. So she always drove. And she ended up getting used. Oh, Barbara, we're having a bit of a do at the weekend at so-and-so's house. Can you pick us all up? Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. And it became more and more. She ended up not as one of their friends, but the taxi driver. And she was pretty sure that none of them actually liked her. They just used her as a taxi. So what did she do? She left the group, and apparently some of them phoned her and said, oh, well, what are we going to do without our lift? We'll have to get a taxi. And she's thinking, yes, damn right you will. I knew a chap back in the 60s, 70s. His name was Ray. He didn't drink, and he drove everywhere. He used to borrow his parents' Mini. And I must admit, we sort of used him as a taxi. We'd invite him along. One of us would phone him, Ray, we're going to a party at Shoreham on Saturday evening. Oh, are you? Oh, yeah, I'd like to come along. Oh, excellent. Could you pick us up sort of about 8? Yeah, that's fine. He didn't mind. I suppose we did use him to an extent, but he was one of us. He was a friend. But looking back, we did actually use him to an extent. Always invited Ray along because he was a taxi. I bumped into him once. I was on a holiday in Devon. I was driving along a little country lane, with the steep sides, the bushes, a sharp bend, went round the bend very slowly and met this little red Mini head on. So I started to back up into this lay-by, and as he went past me, we looked at each other. It was Ray. I thought I recognised the little Mini. We bumped into each other in Devon. How about that? So, of course, we parked up somewhere and had a chat. But that was a coincidence, wasn't it, if ever there was one? I used to love going down to Devon, Somerset, the West Country back in those days. In my old Hillman Minx, my 1954 Hillman Minx. Poor old thing. It made it. Never broke down. It made it. Down there and back. Took 6 hours to get there. Can you believe that? I do remember that. That's probably allowing for my getting lost as well. But it was 6 hours to get down there. I went to Hope Cove, which was rather nice. Have a look near, is it Knightsbridge? No, Kingsbridge. Knightsbridge is in London. You don't have to go there. Hope Cove, just south of Kingsbridge, I think, on the coast. Really lovely place down there. I wonder whether it's changed at all. I suppose it has, hasn't it? There was a lovely cliff walk along the top there as well. Really nice place. In the summer, I wouldn't go there in the winter. Has Dartmoor Prison closed? That's in Cornwall, isn't it? Has it closed? I read somewhere it had closed. And I asked a couple of people about it. No, it hasn't closed. They said, I don't know what's going on. The River Tamar, which is between Devon and Cornwall, as soon as you cross that into Cornwall, I don't know, I think it's just me because no one ever agrees with me. I find Cornwall very bleak. It's just, I don't know, it's nothing. It's very bleak. Everyone disagrees. What do you think? Raise Rants at protonmail.com. Hope Cove, though, is a lovely little place. If ever you're out that way, go and have a look. Well, all along there, is it Seaton, Beer, all along there. It's lovely. Used to be anyway. I haven't been there for many years, decades even. The furthest we go now, as you know, is the Isle of Wight. No, we did Somerset. We did, where did we do? Wookey Hole. The caves, that's fantastic. If you're down the West Country, go to Wookey Hole. What a fantastic name as well, isn't it? Wookey Hole. I've been to Stonehenge a few times in the good old days before it was all fenced off and you're not allowed anywhere near it. That was good, actually going up to the stones. You can touch them and wander around the whole place. It was nice. Fenced off, you can still see it all, of course, but it's different actually going up to the stones and touching them. There are many, many places in England, well, in the UK, that I've never been to, obviously. There are some lovely places, little places hidden away that you don't hear about much. What would be nice is to tour the UK in a a motor caravan thing. You know, what are they called? I can't remember what they're called. Caravan with a driver at the front, you know, he kind of drives it. Not towing, a motorhome, that's the thing. That would be fantastic. The trouble is, to buy one cost you an arm and a leg. We talked about the cost of arms and legs, didn't we, on last Sunday. So it would cost you an arm and a leg. And if you do buy one, where do you keep it? Because most of the year it's going to be not in use. I suppose you could hire one, goodness knows what the cost. Say you hired one for 3 months to go on a good old tour of the UK. What would that cost? Probably be cheaper to buy one, I don't know. But that would be good though, touring around. It would be nice on one of our Isle of Wight holidays to hire a camper van and just go around the whole island and sleep in that. Mind you, these days you've got to go to the specified places. You can't just pull up in a lay-by, fry up your evening meal and have a couple of beers and go to sleep for the night. You have to go to the designated places. In the old days you could just sort of park in the woods somewhere or go and annoy a farmer by parking in his field. All you had to do was go and knock on the farm door, you know, can I park there for the night? And he'd probably say, go on then, give us a fiver. Happy days. OK, that'll do for now. I've just had lunch. One of these par-bake baguettes, is it? Yes, a par-bake gabette. Gabette? Oh, you know what I mean. Those long things. Cheese and pickle. Oh, cheese, cheddar cheese, Branston pickle. Bliss. Followed by a cup of tea and a gingerbread man. Who likes gingerbread men? I eat their heads off first. Right, on that note, be good, be bad. If you're bad, don't get caught. I shall see you on Sunday. Hope you have a good week, or the half of it that's left. Look after yourselves. Thanks for listening as always. Bye-bye for now.